All right, we got a couple of game times for LSU football coming up this fall. We already know that LSU opens up at Clemson, going to be under the lights in Clemson, South Carolina, going to be a monster football game for those two programs. And then LSU's going to come home, and they're going to play Louisiana Tech. And that game's going to be at 6:30, and my pregame show is going to start at 4:30, and I'm going to be sitting on that set, and I'm going to be cooking. And it's going to be ridiculously hot, and that's okay. That's all I know about the first game, whether it's Grambling or Southern or Louisiana Tech. It's just a scorcher. It's the one game a year I wear shorts to work on football season. But nobody cares what time LSU and Tech kick off. The home opener will, in fact, be at 6:30 if that's something you're interested in. What I'm more interested in is Week 3 because LSU plays Florida in Week 3. And that game is going to be massive for both teams. If LSU were playing Florida back in the same time slot that they were this past year, it would be reasonable to suggest that Florida could be in some significant turmoil at that time, like it was reasonable to suggest that last year. Billy Napier's kind of hanging on there. I don't know if he's got the full confidence of his fan base, and we'll see about his football team. But they're going to be fired up and ready to go in Week 3. And LSU needs to be ready to go in Week 3. And I can promise you this, Tiger fans are going to be ready to go in Week 3 for a 6:30 Saturday night in Death Valley against Florida. And it's just going to be massive. DJ Lagway, Garrett Nussmeier, Billy Napier and Brian Kelly were in the same hiring cycle. Both have some expectation on them to take a step forward. For LSU, that step is, hey, we're competing at the national level. We're competing for the SEC championship. We're competing for a college football playoff spot. We're competing for a national championship. That's the step LSU has to take. Brian Kelly's not shying away from that. He's going to Destin and SEC meetings and saying, hey, this is the best team we've had. Billy Napier, meanwhile, you got to stop going 6-7 wins. You got to win 8 or 9. You got to win 10. You got your quarterback. He's here. Paid him. Finished the year strong last year. It's time to go. And that's what you're going to see in Week 3 between these two teams that have been rivals in the SEC since the early 90s. And somehow, some way, LSU actually has controlled this thing of late. You realize that Florida snapped a 4-game LSU win streak. Last year, LSU had won 4 games in a row against the Gators. The last time Florida came to Tiger Stadium and won a football game was when Darius Geis went the wrong way in 2016. That game was, of course, controversially moved because of Hurricane Matthew. This is one of the great rivalries in the Southeastern Conference. Some of you demand we keep it. Some don't care as much. I can promise you this, the new morning show that starts here on June 2nd, Flynn and Hester, Monday morning, they care. And this is going to be just huge between these two teams. We don't think about these teams playing in September, this Week 3, all that often. We've seen them play some games in late September and certainly October, not used to it in November like it was last year. But this is coming out of the chute. This is a spot where LSU often played Mississippi State, right? And now that game's not an annual, and LSU won't play Mississippi State this year. Florida jumps in there. And for LSU, man, how much are we going to know about this football team after 3 weeks? You're going to go to Clemson and either announce that you've put 5 straight season opening losses behind you and are ready to be a threat this year as a national title contender, or you tuck your tail between your legs. You say, we're not ready to do that right now. We've lost 6 openers in a row. Now we got to come lick our wounds against Louisiana Tech, and then we got to play Florida. Or, man, you come off that Clemson win, and you play Florida, and you play Louisiana Tech, you win that game, and then Florida comes in for a Saturday night in Death Valley that will be on springs. 2 quarterbacks that are really, really good. And finally, for LSU over the last 5 years, a little revenge angle for the Tigers, who they just got beat by a Florida defense that wasn't very good last year. They kind of put the clamps on LSU, 27-16. Supposed to be a high-flying LSU offense. It certainly wasn't that evening in the Swamp. But this one is going to be huge, and it is going to be at night. I know a lot of away fans or fans of other teams in the league besides LSU kind of cringe that LSU seems to get the nod to play at night more often than not by the league and by the televisions. But that's the case in week 3. And both programs will have a lot on the line that evening. Because if LSU starts 1-2, this is going to be a grumpy, grumpy town. If LSU starts 3-0, this is going to be a town with sights on December. And Florida will get Tiger Stadium at full throat in week 3 for a 6:30 kickoff. That one will be on ABC. Got that news earlier today. A lot of SEC kickoff times announced today as the SEC spring meetings are going on over in Destin. I've got a story up on LouisianaSports.net about that right now. You can also check out the SEC schedule over at LouisianaSports.net as well. So as you look at LSU's first 3 weeks, Clemson on the road at night, Louisiana Tech 6:30, Florida 6:30, those two at home. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.